All right, so today we're going deep into AI.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of research here on Ruslan Salakhutdinov.
Right.
And, I think a lot of people in AI know his name, but he's maybe not as much of a household name as some other figures. So I think this will be really interesting.
Definitely. This is one of those people who I think, everyone in AI knows his work.
Right.
But maybe they don't know the name as well as some of the other big figures. So I think this deep dive is all about uncovering his contributions to AI and how important he is.
Absolutely. And it looks like we've got his journey starting all the way back in Russia.
Right.
The Russian MIT, the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, that's where he got his start.
Yeah, so that's a really prestigious university in Russia.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that he was exposed to really high-quality mathematical education and computer science education there.
Yeah, it must have been a really interesting time to be in that AI scene.
It was a hotbed of really brilliant minds, but they were a little bit disconnected from the rest of the world.
Interesting.
At that time.
Okay.
And so it was really a turning point when he moved to Canada to get his Ph.D.
Yeah, and that's where he met Geoffrey Hinton.
Right.
At the University of Toronto.
Yeah.
And we're talking Hin Le Convengio.
The godfathers of deep learning.
I mean, those are like the Renaissance masters of AI.
So that was a pivotal time, both for Salakhutdinov personally, but also for the trajectory of deep learning itself.
Right. And it looks like he jumped right into the heart of it, too, tackling this problem of uncertainty in AI.
Yeah.
So for listeners who aren't familiar, a lot of times people think of AI models as if this, then that.
Right.
But the real world is messy.
It's messy.
So how did Salakhutdinov's work kind of change that?
Yeah, so think about like movie recommendations on Netflix.
Okay.
Something like that, right? You haven't rated every single movie on Netflix, but it still gives you really good recommendations. And that's because of models like deep Boltzmann machines.
Okay.
Which Salakhutdinov really pushed forward.
So deep Boltzmann machines can make these educated guesses even when we don't have all the information.
Exactly. They fill in those gaps in our knowledge.
And that's not just theoretical stuff.
Yeah.
That has actual real-world applications that we see.
Real-world applications every day.
Yeah, those Netflix recommendations, Siri understanding what I'm saying, image recognition.
Exactly.
That all comes back to this early research.
Yeah, and he actually developed some really complex mathematical formulas.
Wow.
To make all these breakthroughs possible.
I was actually looking through some of the source material, and some of that math is pretty intense. So
it's not for the faint of heart.
It sounds like he was laying the foundation for a whole new way of thinking about AI.
Yeah.
So what happened next? Did he stay in academia, or did his path take a different turn?
So after that, he moved to Carnegie Mellon.
Okay, another huge name in AI.
Another powerhouse. And this time he took on this new challenge of shaping the future of AI education.
Oh, wow. So he went from making the discoveries to actually training the next generation of people who are going to be leading the way in this field.
Exactly. Passing on that knowledge and those insights.
And what kinds of projects were they working on at CMU?
All kinds of things. But one area that stands out is his work in healthcare.
Okay.
Specifically using AI to create diagnostic tools.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, imagine AI algorithms that can help doctors analyze medical images to make more accurate diagnoses.
Yeah, especially for diseases that are hard to detect early on.
Absolutely, could be a game changer.
Wow. And the source material also mentions robotics.
Yeah.
Which everybody loves.
Everybody loves robots.
So what was he doing in that field?
So he was working on something called multi-agent systems.
Okay.
Basically, robots working together as a team.
Like a robot soccer team or something.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
You have these robots that have to coordinate with each other to achieve a common goal.
So we've got Salakhutdinov at CMU shaping the minds of future AI leaders, tackling some pretty complex challenges.
Yeah.
But then in 2016, his story takes this sharp turn when he joins Apple.
Right.
And I think that really signals to the world that AI is no longer just this academic thing.
Yeah.
It's becoming a core part of the entire tech industry.
Absolutely.
And Apple, known for being very secretive.
Yeah.
They want Salakhutdinov to lead the charge.
Right.
And I'm curious, I'm sitting here using Apple products every day, my phone, my laptop.
Yeah.
How has his work actually shaped the devices that we use?
Well, that's the million-dollar question.
Right.
Apple is very tight-lipped about their research.
Yeah.
So we have to do a bit of detective work here to piece things together.
Let's do it.
But one area that really stands out is on-device machine learning.
On-device machine learning? What does that even mean?
So think about all the data that your phone collects, right? Your location, your browsing history, the apps you use. Now, instead of sending all that data to the cloud to be processed, Salakhutdinov's work allows your device to do the heavy lifting right there on your phone.
Oh, so it's all about privacy then.
Privacy is a huge factor, but it's also about speed and efficiency.
Okay.
Imagine Face ID recognizing you instantly.
Yeah.
Or Siri responding to your request without any lag.
That's true.
That's the power of on-device learning that Salakhutdinov is pushing forward.
It sounds like he's making AI more personal.
Yeah.
More responsive, more integrated into our lives.
Exactly.
So what else is he working on at Apple?
Well, the sources suggest that he's also involved in improving Siri's natural language processing capabilities.
Oh, that's interesting because Siri has definitely gotten a lot smarter over the years.
Much smarter.
Is that all thanks to Salakhutdinov?
It's hard to say for certain, but you can imagine that his expertise in deep learning and language models is playing a key role.
It's almost like talking to a real person now.
It's getting there.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What other areas is he focusing on?
The sources also mention augmented reality.
Okay.
Which is becoming a huge part of how we interact with the world.
Right.
Imagine using your phone to see digital information overlaid on top of the real world.
Yeah, that seems like something straight out of science fiction.
It's becoming more and more real every day.
So how is Salakhutdinov involved in making that a reality?
So it all comes down to computer vision, the ability for devices to see and understand the world around them.
Okay.
And his expertise in deep learning is pushing the boundaries of what's possible in computer vision.
So he's not just working on those theoretical AI models. He's actually shaping the technology that's in our hands.
Exactly. Bridging that gap between theory and practice.
Yeah, I love that. But it's Apple. They're notoriously secretive.
Yeah.
How did Salakhutdinov, coming from that open world of academia, how did he handle that?
That's a great question. And I think it really speaks to his unique position within Apple.
Okay.
So while he couldn't just reveal all the secrets, he really pushed Apple to be more open with their research.
Oh, interesting.
And to engage more with the broader AI community.
So he brought a bit of that academic spirit into the corporate world.
Exactly.
That's awesome. And I think that's a great segue to something that's been on my mind as we've been talking about all this incredible technology.
Yeah.
There's a lot of responsibility that comes with it.
Right.
So where does Salakhutdinov stand on the ethical side of AI?
Yeah, that's a crucial question, and he's been very vocal about it.
Okay.
He believes that as we create these more powerful systems, we need to be mindful of the potential consequences.
Right. It's not just about building the coolest tech. It's about making sure it's used for good.
Exactly.
So what are some of the specific ethical considerations that he's concerned about?
So the sources highlight his focus on fairness.
Okay.
Making sure that AI systems don't perpetuate existing biases.
Right.
He's also a strong advocate for transparency, making sure we understand how AI is making decisions.
Right. It's not just a black box.
Exactly.
That spits out an answer. We need to know.
We need to know the why behind it.
The why behind it.
And this brings us to another point. He emphasizes the need for global regulations for AI.
Oh, wow.
So this isn't just a national issue.
Right.
It's a global challenge that requires international cooperation.
Wow. So he's really thinking about this from every angle.
He's not just a brilliant researcher. He's also a visionary leader.
Yeah.
Who understands that the future of AI is really intertwined with the future of humanity.
That's a powerful thought. It feels like we've covered so much already.
We have.
From his early days in Russia to his groundbreaking research to his work at Apple now and his focus on ethical AI.
Right.
But I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah. We've only scratched the surface.
All right. So let's dive even deeper into the source material.
Let's do it.
And uncover more about Salakhutdinov's legacy and what the future holds.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It really is amazing to see how far AI has come.
Yeah. It's mind-blowing to think that the research we've been talking about actually impacts our lives, every day.
Yeah.
The source material actually dives into some specific examples of that.
Yeah.
You know how Salakhutdinov's work is being used in things like healthcare, education, autonomous systems.
Absolutely.
So let's start with healthcare.
Okay.
I'm always fascinated by the potential for AI to really revolutionize medicine.
Yeah, healthcare is definitely one of those fields where AI is having a huge impact.
So what are we seeing specifically?
Well, one area where we're seeing a lot of progress is in medical image analysis.
Okay.
So using deep learning algorithms to analyze things like X-rays, MRIs, EC scans.
So the AI is acting as like a second pair of eyes for doctors.
Yeah, it's more than just assisting, though.
Okay.
These algorithms can actually detect
Wow.
Subtle patterns that a human doctor might miss.
Oh, wow.
Leading to earlier diagnoses.
And hopefully better outcomes. Are there any specific examples of this technology being used?
Yeah, there are tons of examples. But one that comes to mind is using deep learning to detect early signs of cancer in mammograms.
Oh, wow.
These algorithms have been shown to be really effective at identifying those subtle abnormalities that might indicate the presence of cancer.
That's incredible, especially for diseases like cancer where early detection is so important.
Yeah, it's all about catching it early.
Yeah.
And it's not just about detection either.
Okay.
His work is also being applied to personalized treatments.
Oh, wow.
Imagine a world where your doctor could use AI to figure out which medication is going to work best for you.
Yeah.
Based on your genetics and your medical history.
That sounds like science fiction.
It's becoming more and more real.
So that's actually happening.
It is.
Thanks to AI.
Yeah, so probabilistic models are playing a key role in this.
Okay.
These models can analyze huge amounts of patient data.
Okay.
And predict responses to different treatments with amazing accuracy.
It's like having a personalized medicine concierge or something.
That's a great way to put it.
Wild.
It's like tailoring those treatments to each individual patient.
And the applications go beyond personalized medicine.
Right.
And we're talking about drug discovery as well.
Absolutely. So AI algorithms can actually simulate molecular interactions and identify promising drug candidates way faster than traditional methods.
So AI is speeding up the process of developing new medications.
It is.
That's incredible.
And this is really just the beginning.
Yeah.
When it comes to the potential of AI in healthcare.
It's amazing to think that this research that might have seemed very abstract or theoretical is now having such a real impact on people's lives.
Absolutely.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about education.
Okay.
How is AI changing that landscape?
Well, Salakhudinov's work is also shaping the future of education.
Okay.
Particularly through the development of adaptive learning platforms.
Adaptive learning platforms? So what is this?
So think of it as a personalized learning experience for every student.
Okay.
So these platforms use AI to adapt to the individual's pace and learning style.
Okay.
They provide tailored feedback. They recommend resources.
Okay.
And they adjust the difficulty level of the material based on the student's progress.
So it's like having a personal tutor for every student.
It's kind of like that.
Wow.
It can provide that kind of individualized attention that's often missing in traditional education.
That sounds incredibly beneficial for students who maybe struggle in a traditional classroom setting.
Yeah, absolutely. So it has the potential to address issues like students falling behind or getting bored.
Right.
Because the pace isn't right for them.
So AI is actually helping to create a more equitable and engaging learning environment.
That's the goal.
That's amazing.
Are there any other applications of AI in education that he's had a hand in?
Yeah, so his work in natural language processing is also being used to develop accessibility tools.
That can help students with disabilities access educational materials.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so think about things like text-to-speech or speech-to-text technologies.
Right.
They can really make learning more inclusive and accessible for everyone.
That's a really powerful example of how AI can be used for good.
Right.
To break down those barriers and create a more equitable learning environment for everybody.
Yeah. And it's not just about accessibility either.
Okay.
His work is also being used to develop automated assessment tools.
Okay.
That can grade essays or even evaluate open-ended responses.
Oh, wow. So that frees up teachers' time to actually teach.
Yeah, that's the idea. So they can spend less time grading.
Right.
And more time actually teaching and mentoring their students.
That would be a game changer for so many teachers.
Absolutely.
Wow, it sounds like AI is poised to really transform education in some really profound ways.
Yeah, I think it has the potential to make it more personalized, more accessible, more effective for all students.
That's amazing. Let's talk about autonomous systems.
Okay.
Another field that's rapidly evolving thanks to AI.
Right. Well, his research is playing a key role in the development of self-driving vehicles.
Self-driving cars are like the holy grail of AI, aren't they?
Yeah, they're kind of the ultimate test of whether AI can really navigate the real world.
So how is his research contributing to that?
Well, his work on probabilistic models is really crucial for helping these systems make decisions under uncertainty.
Uncertainty? What do you mean?
So think about all the unpredictable things that can happen on the road.
Okay, yeah.
Pedestrians crossing unexpectedly, other drivers behaving erratically.
Right.
Sudden changes in weather conditions.
It's a very chaotic environment.
It is. And a self-driving car needs to be able to process all that information.
Okay.
And make split-second decisions even when the situation is ambiguous or incomplete.
That sounds incredibly challenging.
It is a huge challenge.
So how do these probabilistic models help?
Well, they allow the AI system to actually reason about probabilities.
Okay.
To make educated guesses, even when it doesn't have all the information.
So it's almost like teaching AI to think more like a human, to deal with that messiness.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Of the real world.
It's about teaching AI to deal with uncertainty.
Yeah.
Which is something that humans are actually pretty good at.
That's true. We do it all the time without even thinking about it.
Right, exactly.
It's fascinating to see how those very sophisticated mathematical models are being applied to solve these real-world problems.
It's amazing to see how those ideas are actually being put into practice.
What other applications are we seeing in autonomous systems?
Well, his research is also helping to enhance the learning capabilities of robots.
Okay.
Allowing them to adapt to new tasks and environments more effectively.
Oh, wow.
Imagine robots that can learn to perform household chores just by observing humans.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Right, or receiving instructions through natural language.
So instead of being programmed for a specific task, they can actually learn on the fly.
They can adapt and adjust to new situations.
Exactly. That kind of flexibility is opening up a whole new world of possibilities.
Yeah.
For how robots can integrate into our lives.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's not just limited to household robots either.
Right. It extends to drones as well.
Oh, yeah. Drones are already being used for so many things.
Delivery, surveillance, search and rescue.
Right.
The list goes on.
So how is AI changing the drone landscape?
Well, his expertise in computer vision and multi-agent systems is helping to make drones more autonomous and intelligent.
Oh, wow.
Imagine drones that can navigate those complex environments without any human intervention.
Yeah.
That can coordinate with each other to perform tasks.
Like a swarm of drones.
Exactly.
Working together.
They can even make decisions based on real-time data.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So we're moving towards a future where drones aren't just these remotely controlled devices.
Right.
But they're actually intelligent systems.
Yeah, they're becoming more like partners.
Than just tools.
That's incredible. So we've seen how Salakhutdinov's work has transformed healthcare, education, autonomous systems.
Right.
But the source material also talks about how his research has actually reshaped entire industries.
It's true.
And that's a whole other level of impact.
It's one thing to have an impact on a specific field.
Right.
But it's another thing entirely to have that kind of wide-ranging influence.
Where do we even begin to unpack that? What are some specific examples of how his work has reshaped entire industries?
One of the most notable examples is his influence on the field of natural language processing, or NLP.
NLP, right? That's all about teaching computers to understand human language.
Exactly. It's become a huge part of AI in recent years.
Absolutely. And Salakhutdinov has been instrumental in advancing NLP in so many ways.
Yeah, he's a pioneer in this area.
Think about machine translation, for example.
Okay.
It's gotten so good that we can now communicate across language barriers.
Right.
More seamlessly than ever before.
It's incredible how far it's come.
I use Google Translate all the time, and it's amazing how accurate the translations are.
Pretty mind-blowing.
It's like magic.
It is pretty magical. And that level of accuracy and fluency is largely due to the advances in neural networks and deep learning that Salakhutdinov has really pioneered.
So he's helping to break down language barriers and connect people from all over the world?
He is. It's a really powerful application of AI.
Absolutely. And it's not just about translation either.
Right.
His work has also significantly improved the conversational capabilities of those virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa.
Right, those chatbots that we interact with every day.
I use Siri all the time, and it definitely seems like it's gotten a lot smarter over the years.
It has.
Is that because of Salakhutdinov's work?
Well, it's hard to say for sure.
Right.
Because companies like Apple are pretty secretive about their research.
Yeah.
But his expertise in deep learning and language models is undoubtedly playing a role.
It's fascinating to see how AI is moving away from typing commands or clicking buttons.
To a more natural conversational interface.
It's becoming more intuitive.
It is. What other areas has he influenced?
Well, his research is also being used for sentiment analysis.
Sentiment analysis?
Yeah.
What's that?
So that involves using AI algorithms to actually figure out the sentiment or emotion.
Oh, wow.
That's expressed in text.
So you could analyze a bunch of customer reviews to see if people generally like a product or not.
Exactly. Sentiment analysis has applications in marketing.
Okay.
Finance, even political polling.
It's amazing how AI can be used to extract meaning and insights from human language.
It's like having a superpowered research assistant.
It really is.
That can analyze mountains of text in seconds.
That's wild. And that's just one example of how Salakhudinov's work has reshaped entire industries.
Right.
What other fields has he influenced?
Well, we can't forget about computer vision.
Computer vision, that's all about teaching computers to see.
Yeah, to understand images and videos.
Right. And Salakhudinov's work on deep neural networks
has been really instrumental in powering many of the computer vision applications that we use today.
Absolutely.
Like facial recognition.
Facial recognition is everywhere these days.
It really is. It's kind of freaky how accurate it's become.
It is, and that accuracy is largely due to those advances in deep learning.
Okay.
That Salakhutdinov has pioneered.
So those neural networks are able to analyze facial features with such precision.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
That they can identify individuals with really high accuracy.
It's amazing to think that AI can recognize faces better than humans can in some cases.
What other applications of computer vision are we seeing?
Well, object detection is another area where his work has had a big impact.
Object detection, what's that?
So it's about training AI systems to recognize and categorize objects in images and videos.
So you could train an AI to identify different types of cars on the road?
Exactly.
Or different products on a store shelf?
Right, and that has tons of applications in e-commerce.
Okay.
And healthcare, even in surveillance.
It seems like computer vision is being used for almost everything these days.
It's becoming ubiquitous.
Are there any other really transformative applications that we're seeing?
Yeah, well, his work in computer vision is also really crucial for enabling augmented reality.
Oh, yeah. AR.
Where digital content is seamlessly overlaid on the real world.
That's so cool. It's like blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds.
It is, and it's changing the way we shop.
Yeah.
The way we learn. The way we experience the world around us.
What other industries are being transformed by his work?
Well, we can't forget about recommendation systems.
Oh, yeah. Recommendation systems, those personalized suggestions that pop up everywhere.
They're everywhere, right?
It's like Netflix telling me what to watch.
Right.
Amazon suggesting products I might like. Spotify curating playlists based on my listening history.
It's all powered by AI.
It's kind of creepy how well they know me.
It is a little bit creepy, but it's also incredibly convenient.
That's true. It is convenient.
And addictive.
It is addictive. And it's all thanks to those complex algorithms developed by researchers like Salakhutdinov.
Yeah. They're able to analyze our past behavior and our preferences to predict what we might want next.
It's like having a personal shopper or an entertainment concierge that's always one step ahead of you.
It's a little bit unsettling, but it's also pretty amazing.
It is. It is impressive. So we've seen how Salakhutdinov's work has transformed healthcare, education, autonomous systems, and even entire industries.
Absolutely.
But as with any powerful technology, there are also challenges and concerns that come along with it.
Of course, AI is not a silver bullet.
Right.
It's a powerful tool.
Yeah.
But it has to be used responsibly.
So let's dive into those challenges. What are some of the concerns that Salakhutdinov himself has raised about the future of AI?
Well, one of the most pressing concerns is the issue of bias and fairness.
Okay.
You know, we've seen examples of AI systems perpetuating existing biases, leading to discrimination in things like hiring, lending, even criminal justice.
That's a big problem.
It is. And Salakhutdinov has been very clear about the need to address this head on.
So it's like that old saying, garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. If the data used to train AI systems is biased, the AI itself is going to be biased.
What can we do about that?
Well, Salakhutdinov emphasizes the importance of using diverse and representative data sets when we train AI models.
Right. So making sure that the data reflects the real world.
Exactly. We also need to develop algorithms that are specifically designed to mitigate bias. And promote fairness.
That sounds like a very complex problem.
It is. It's one of the biggest challenges facing AI today.
What other challenges are we facing as AI keeps advancing?
Well, privacy is another major concern. As AI becomes more personalized and integrated into our lives, the amount of data being collected about us is exploding.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary sometimes.
It is. And Salakhutdinov recognizes that we need to develop robust, privacy-preserving technology and regulations to protect our data.
It's a tricky balance, right? We want AI to personalize our experiences and make our lives easier.
Right.
But we also want to protect our privacy.
It's a trade-off.
How do we find that balance?
Well, Salakhutdinov believes that transparency is key.
Okay.
We need to understand how AI systems are using our data.
Yeah.
And we need to have control over how that data is shared and used.
I think that's something that a lot of people are concerned about.
It is. It's a valid concern.
And it's not just about data privacy either.
Right.
The source material mentions some broader ethical dilemmas that are raised by AI.
Yeah. As AI systems become more powerful and more autonomous, we have to think carefully about the potential consequences.
What are some of those ethical dilemmas?
Well, think about AI being used in sensitive areas like surveillance, law enforcement, even military applications.
Right. That's where it starts to get a little bit scary.
It does. If AI systems are making decisions that have life or death consequences, we need to be incredibly careful about how we design and deploy them.
Absolutely. So how do we ensure that AI is used ethically and responsibly?
Well, Salakhutdinov advocates for human oversight, remaining a critical part of these systems.
So humans are still in the loop.
Humans need to be ultimately responsible for those decisions.
Especially in those high-stakes situations.
Exactly.
So it's a lot to think about. AI has this amazing potential to do so much good in the world.
It does.
But it also presents some very serious risks if we're not careful.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
And that's why I think Salakhutdinov's voice is so important in this conversation.
It is. He's not just a brilliant AI researcher.
Right.
He's also a thoughtful advocate for responsible AI development.
And it's inspiring to see someone at the forefront of AI research who's also so deeply committed to using this technology for good.
He's setting a great example for the whole field.
It gives me hope that we can navigate these challenges and shape a future where AI is truly a force for good.
I agree. His story reminds us that the future of AI isn't predetermined.
Yeah.
It's up to us to shape it.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From his early research to his impact on all these different industries, to the ethical challenges of AI.
Yeah.
But there's still more to explore.
Absolutely.
His story is still unfolding.
It is.
And he continues to push the boundaries of AI research.
He's not done yet.
So, as we move into the final part of our deep dive, we're going to delve into what Salakhutdinov is currently working on.
Sounds good.
And what he envisions for the future of AI.
Right, let's do it.
We've covered so much ground already, from his roots in Russia to his work at Apple and his thoughts on AI ethics.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
But I'm really curious to hear about what he's working on now. What's next for Salakhutdinov?
Right. Well, it's clear from everything you sent over that he's not slowing down anytime soon.
I love that.
He's really tackling some even bigger questions now, pushing the boundaries of AI in ways that could fundamentally change things.
That's what makes these deep dives so fascinating. It's not just about looking back. It's about getting a glimpse into what's coming next.
Exactly.
So what are those big questions that he's grappling with?
Well, one area he's really passionate about is probabilistic models for uncertainty quantification.
Okay, remind me what that is again.
So remember those self-driving cars?
Yeah.
Having to make split-second decisions in those super complex situations?
Yeah, all those variables changing in an instant.
Right. Well, he's working on models that allow AI systems to actually make decisions even when they don't have all the information.
So it's not just about programming AI to follow a set of rules.
No, it's about teaching AI to think more probabilistically.
Okay.
To weigh different possibilities and make the best choice based on whatever data is available.
So it's like teaching AI to deal with the messiness of the real world.
Exactly.
To navigate uncertainty.
Yeah, kind of like how humans do it all the time.
Yeah, we make judgments based on incomplete information all the time.
Right, and that's going to be crucial as AI systems become even more integrated into our lives.
Yeah, we need to know that they can handle those unexpected situations.
Absolutely.
And make decisions that align with our values.
That's the key.
So the source material also mentions explainable AI. What's that all about?
Explainable AI, or XAI, is about making those AI decision-making processes more transparent.
Okay.
So humans can understand them.
So instead of just getting an answer from an AI,
right,
we can actually understand how it arrived at that answer.
Exactly. It's like being able to see the AI's thought process.
Yeah, to see the why behind the decisions.
Right, and that's crucial for building trust in AI.
Yeah, it makes sense if I'm getting medical advice from an AI or financial advice. I want to know why it's recommending that.
You want to know what's going on behind the scenes?
Right, not just blindly trust it.
And explainable AI can also help with identifying potential biases.
Okay, how...
Well, if you can see how the AI is making decisions, you can better detect if it's relying on flawed logic or data.
Right. So it's like a safeguard against those unintended consequences.
Exactly.
So explainable AI, it's about transparency, it's about trust, it's about making sure AI is used ethically.
It's all connected.
The source material also talks about Salakhudinov's commitment to AI for social good.
Right. This is where things get really interesting.
I'm intrigued. What does that look like?
It's about moving beyond those commercial applications of AI.
Okay.
And using it to solve global challenges.
Give me some examples.
Well, the source specifically mentions climate modeling.
Oh, wow.
Using AI to analyze those huge data sets of climate data.
Yeah, to better understand climate change.
Right, and predict its impacts.
That could be huge for developing strategies to mitigate climate change.
Right. Absolutely.
And adapt to its effects.
And it goes beyond climate change. He's also interested in using AI for disaster prediction.
Oh, wow. Like predicting earthquakes and floods.
That could literally save
lives.
Right. Giving people time to prepare and evacuate.
And it doesn't stop there. What about global health?
Yeah. So using machine learning to diagnose diseases, develop new treatments, even improve healthcare access in underserved communities.
It's really inspiring to see someone at the forefront of AI research using their expertise for good.
It really is. He's not just building algorithms.
Yeah.
He's trying to build a better future.
That's incredible. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Ruslan Salakhutdinov's world, I'm struck by just how much he's accomplished.
Pretty amazing.
And how much he continues to contribute.
Yeah, he's one of the leading figures shaping the future of AI.
Absolutely, and not just through his technical brilliance, but through his vision for a more ethical and human-centered approach.
He's setting a high bar for everyone in the field.
It gives me hope that we can harness the power of AI for good.
I agree.
So to our listeners out there, I encourage you to keep learning about AI.
Yeah, stay curious.
Stay informed and engage in those conversations about its impact on our lives.
It's a future we're all shaping together.
The future of AI is in our hands.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time.